A warm welcome to each one of you. This is the Naomi Talk Show with you, Liz Kenya, and kama kawaida, I'd like to appreciate each one of you that has become part of the big family that we are becoming. Because guess what? We are growing because you have chosen to grow us. Asanteni sana. And to everyone coming across our content for the very first time, please rest assured that 3 things you'll get in every story or every episode that we get to air. You'll be equipped, you'll be inspired, and you'll be educated to do life the way God intended. Because as we always say, He has the manual of how we ought to do life. But we know it. Do we understand it? Have we been able to dig through and know exactly what He desires and intends of us? So that is what we endeavor to do in this space, and in every story, you will actually be equipped, educated, and inspired. So today we are looking at marriage. In our society today, marriage is almost looking like a curse, quote unquote. Everywhere you turn, everyone seems to be desiring to run away, to run out of it. But in this space, we choose couples that have made it or are still walking in the space of marriage and working it outright so that you can be encouraged to realize that actually marriage works. Because it is not men who invented marriage in the first place. It is God Himself who invented marriage. So probably by sharing these stories, you get encouraged and you learn a few things of how you can also get to navigate, especially when storms hit. Because definitely, no marriage that does not encounter storms. Every marriage will encounter challenges here and there. But the difference is in how you learn to navigate through those challenges. So, kabla niongee mingi sana, allow me to let my guests today introduce themselves. They are a young couple, yes. So to the young people, skizeni hii, this is for you, this is for you. Karibuni sana. Kindly introduce yourselves.
All right, my name is Teresa Muhari. Muhari is my husband, and I think we are so blessed and so honored to be part of this Naomi show. We have really been following, and finally we found ourselves here. We thank God. Asante.
And the Muhari
The Muhari himself.
The Muhari himself is here. So my name is Stephen Muhari Wakaba.
As we know it as Wakapa.
Wakapa, yeah. Yeah, in some other places they call it Wakaba. So but it's all of them, it's either far or va, it's still okay. We're from Upper Karen. Upper Karen, but we say yani Kabura. And we thank God that we are here. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many years in marriage?
This is our 5th year.
Your 5th year?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The God.
It's God.
The God.
It's God.
Yes, God. It's been a minute.
Na lazima akuwe throughout this story.
True.
Otherwise tukijaribu kuifanya peke yetu,
Mambo
this is a quick fire that I want to throw to you.
Yeah.
5 years in marriage between the two of you. Nani upenda chai moto sana, moto?
He does.
He loves very hot things.
Yes.
Of course. Who doesn't love hot tea?
He loves very hot.
So wewe unangojanga kwanza ipoapoe kidogo?
At least niweze kukunywa.
You enjoy it. Thank you.
Yes. You enjoy tea.
School. Question number 2. Ni nani usumbuliwa na mosquito sana? Anaweza amka usiku stima zote kwa nyumba akitafuta just one mosquito.
I'm not pointing fingers, but
and you're wondering why? Let the mosquito be.
Yeah, unasumbua ya nini?
So you are the victim.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
That's the beauty of marriage. That we cannot, all of us, be on the same and view things from the same perspective. And that's what makes it beautiful.
The funny thing about it, how do you even hear the mosquito? ability to sleep. You sleep, I mean.
Lala bwana, wachane na ishi maisha. Kila mtu aishi maisha yake.
Yeah.
Aishi maisha yako, mimi niishi yangu.
Na mbu yake.
Bas. How do you expect it to survive? Anyway, that was a quick one. I've always had that even revolving in my house, and I've always asked myself, how wonderful is our Creator? That one of us has a problem with mosquitoes. One of us has a problem with very hot food.
And we can almost guess who it is.
You can almost guess.
You can almost guess.
Who loves hot tea in my house?
Yeah.
Who?
Mr. Kenya.
You're right. Yes. Thank you.
And the mosquitoes we know.
Now that he's not here, watch out. So my first question is, definitely you met somewhere.
Yeah.
Your first meetup point, mahali mulispotiana, ama ulispotiwa, mwenye mlikuwa vitezi mukaspotiana. What was that place?
What?
I think,
talk about that.
I think I'll take it because he normally confuses.
He confuses.
Yeah.
It's normal. He's a very normal man. I'm confirming.
So he came to our school when I was in Form 2 in Makuyu Girls Formation through Commissioners of Christ.
Yes.
So that time I spotted him, but he didn't.
You spotted a very
handsome guy, and then he sings.
I know. He sings.
Now my friend,
he
was actually in the keys, and then I don't know that my friend. I hope she'll watch. She'll watch. Her name is Judy. Pushes me and tells me, because we're in the field, and now you know how high school we all want to talk to these missioners. You want to share, I don't know what. Then she pushes me. Suongea na yeye.
Wow.
And we sang. He accepted. It was like, you tell me a presentation, we andika jina yako. So that's what I did. So when I was singing, I'm like, I crashed on him. But now, unfortunately, he didn't even notice.
Alikuwa amezama. Alikuwa amezama bwana.
So the story goes on and on. I got heartbroken by someone who didn't know him heartbroke me, because why are you not falling in love with me and I'm in love with you? And then I'm like, you're not even saying hi, and then you're not talking to everyone else but not me. So I was always getting heartbroken. Actually, I even have a book I showed him after he got married. I had written how I'm heartbroken by this guy
who's not noticing.
Yes, and I was so much in love. Then how he came back on the Form 4. But now he came back on the Form 4. This time, he kind of noticed me, but I was not there. I was like, still in heartbreak. And he didn't even know he had broken me. So this time, we were surprising our teacher, our patron, with a birthday cake. So he says that's where he noticed me. But I didn't want to talk to him. I would notice he really wanted to talk to me, but I was like, well, he had to break last time, please. I have not forgotten. So, and after that, after college, I think I saw his friend request on FB. And I told my cousin, this guy once came in high school, and then I had a crush on him, and then crashed on, and I did not crash, and then I was crushed. My heart was crushed. So I don't want his stories anymore. So from there is when we would now talk now and then. I don't even I think I normally tell people I'm the one who asked for his number. It looks funny because nowadays ladies are like, men should always ask for the number. I don't know how that happened, because yes, I'm the one who asked for your number indirectly, because that time there was a function in our church. And now you see, we used to talk on FB, and I knew he's a worshipper. So I wanted to tell him, if I had your number, I would have sent you a certain poster for worship experience in our church. He did not even say anything. Yes, he sent the number on WhatsApp. And we started chatting. And now we'd chat. And you don't even know why you are chatting. We'd chat even in the morning. From morning to evening, sleeping, chatting. Anyway, when you wake up, you always find his text and you reply like that. That was it.
Sasa wewe, wacha kwanza nimujibie. Sisi ndio tulikuwa tunawasaidia mission ethics. Ingesemekana. Angekuwa under disciplinary action. Probably. Anaweza kuwa alikuwa ameona a student, but since he's in the mission field,
he can't.
Lakini wacha tumsikize.
I don't know how that happens, but at the same time, other than the mission ethics, there's also that aspect at the back of your mind. You're here to do the work of the Lord, and basically it is to preach and to speak. I mean, also, and even as per even the laws of Kenya, you can't even do anything with a minor. That's a minor. However tall, like my wife is, there's that aspect at the back of your mind. But I knew I saw a tall lady at one time. That's now when she can remember all those details. I'm not so sure. I'm so good with those details. But I know at one time she was a leader, and of course missioners. There's that bit mnasaviwa na CEO officials and all that. That's the time they were. I think she said surprising the school patron, CU patron, and there was that aspect of I saw the tall lady. I think what struck me was the tallness. It really peculiar, the Brazilian height. That's what struck me. And then she sang. The singing also struck me, but not in that aspect of anything could lead to a future. I mean, how is it even possible with a student? I mean, so it never at any one time struck me. But of course, I'm glad to realize and know that there was something else from this end, which
So we've ironed out that.
yeah, we had.
Alikuwa amekuspot lakini injili na ethics hazingemruhusu.
Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you.
And actually, the bit now where we got to now meet on Facebook, I meet with also a colleague leader, CU leader in Tao. And she's like, hey, nini, ukuaje kupoa, nini. And then nikamwambia, see, we take some tea. Ile random, not out of anything. Then she's, we're talking namwambia, there was a CU official, a colleague CU official from your school who was tall. The only thing I know is that she was tall. She was like, kuna namba ndakupatia, mtafute Facebook, anaitwa Teresa Maina. And of course I went there really excited to finally talk to this tall lady I met. Of course, right now out of school and all that, and life has also taken its path and all that. And from there, yeah.
The rest will continue catching up.
Yeah.
Hapo sasa.
And that is it.
So see, you were spotted the first time. Was it? So Muhari,
Okay.
ulikuja sasa aje ukafika mahali ya kupropose? Now that ashatoka shule, and as you say, life may take turns. Mtu amegrow, hana uniform tena.
I at times listen. You also listen to your story. And I look at how that came to be, and it's really intriguing to me. And I only see the paths of God and the hand of God. Because apparently we meet on Facebook, we're chatting, I even have that first photo I saw. I was like, this is the lady I saw, the tall lady I saw. Yes, of course we're chatting. At that time, of course I'm looking at my time, at my age and all that. I'm saying time is moving. So I've tried on a few bits of dating. Coincidentally, with also a lady from, yes, but I'm pursuing.
He said you are missioners. I think now we will be zeroing down.
Mungu ni mwema. But I don't know how life is. So there's one I'm pursuing. But this is the one I'm pursuing. She's not anywhere near, or I'm not anywhere near her in terms of what I am pursuing. And of course, you've tried life, you've tried dating, 1, 2, 3. At one time, I even contemplated, maybe I'm called for celibacy. But nikijisikiza, unajisikiza tu unajua. Mimi nasikia, mimi na Paul, we are like 2 worlds apart. Now, fast forward, we're chatting, we invite each other to our churches. One time I invite her to our church anniversary. Then she came. Then we were chatting, we were meeting, nini, and all this. At one time I felt, of course, after you've pursued others and all that, you know, what I've come to realize there's one thing you can't lie to, it's your heart. You can't lie to your heart. Is this lady your heart feels something for? You can't lie. You can't lie to it. You can't tell it no. You can't. At the back of the mind, in deep within your heart, you know, there's something peculiar. There's something different for this lady. In as much as, of course, as you have said, she has said, I sing and all that, all these things. He's a poet. So you have this circle of very many ladies around you. But you know, amidst all these ones, there's one. So I felt, well, of course, it's very many stories until I felt all these others were not of any relevance to what I was pursuing. I didn't see a future. I didn't see a wife. I didn't see a mother to our children. I didn't see someone who would do life together. I didn't see someone we would, you know, do good.
Vijana mkichakachaka na wasichana huku nje mnakomamsha zero mkajua out.
Yeah.
Out.
Huyu hapana. Ama huyu.
Lakini yeye akitaka kuendelea kuchakachaka na nyinyi ni sawa.
But sasa sisi tunakuwa tumejua. That's how I feel men are wired. Unajua ni nani? Ama unajua
zile qualities.
Yes, unajua
huyu hana.
Huyu anaongeaga hivyo. No, thank you very much.
Lakini bado mnachapa tu story.
But tumechapa story nini. And now the problem also comes in, kuna wenye si born again. Sasa hapo ndio unapata this in playing ground. Untamchezea yangu yote. But you know, this one cannot be my wife. This one, and you know, you can be turned off by very small and queer things. Anavanga hivyo. He talks like that.
Anachakanga hivyo.
Ama or something. Anything. I don't know anything. But I knew this one is different. So I did. One time in church, my pastor didn't even know about it. We had a function, but I had flowers organized. I had a ring from somewhere. How I got the size of her ring was also another story. Because I don't know how I tricked to know. Because she's really good in grasping to small things. She will know. Where do you want to? Yeah. From afar, ile kone 18. So I don't know how I got there. I think at one time we were walking in Tao. Then tunaambia, tujaribu rings. I see, hizi rings zinakaje. One time see we'll get married. So I'm trying out. Nikaona ametoa hiyo. Karudisha na imemtoshea. So tukapita nikamwescort. Nikarudi to the same guy. Nikamwambia ile ring.
Did you know that?
She did. Nikamwambia kuna ile mdem tulipita naye hapa. Alikuwa na certain ring. Ilikuwa size gani? And that's how I got the size. And in a Sunday service, after service, of course, in the function, I'm down on my knee. And ladies and gentlemen, she said yes. Yeah.
Sawa, tukubali. 20 years ago, those things tukua tutafanya. Utakubali ama hutakubali?
And you know the Kikuyu in it. He's really queer.
So, and these things have evolved. So Tesi pale umeona ndio huyo mtu amekuja. Of course ulikuwa ushaanza
Unajuanga tu.
Ulikuwa umepata tu nini?
Unajua kuna zile tunaambiwa.
Na nimesikia wewe ni DCI
And then I would question a lot.
By birth. Sidi hiyo. DCI by birth.
By birth.
So after I noticed this guy was into me, one, I now started thinking about it. You know, it's now beyond this boyfriend, girlfriend thing. And then when it comes to marriage now, you have to think about it. I would say I now started looking, you know, I think every lady has the values they look for. I want the people who say they want tall, dark, and handsome. I never wanted a tall guy, never, all my life. And then I was not really looking for money. I think ladies are really looking for money nowadays. It was not there. It was not. I'm telling you, it was not there.
I say amen because I didn't have a penny.
I know where you're coming from.
So, after I noticed this guy was into me, I think at some point what really turned me on completely was the day we went for our first date. I remember it was an Odeon, a certain hotel there. I can't remember the name right now. And then he held my hand and prayed in public. And I was like, this is it. Can I get married now? You know, because for me, I was looking for a guy, one who loves God. That was enough. Because I think I had seen a lot. I've heard a lot of people talk about what they're going through in their marriages. And I was like, what if I get a guy who loves God? Would I really go what people go through? And then after that, he told me, will you be my girlfriend? The guy told me we are going for fasting. We need to ask God whether we are doing the right thing. And I'm telling you, we prayed. He has forgotten. We prayed. There's a prayer center in Kikuyu. What's the name of the prayer center?
House of Praise.
Yes, House of Praise. We would go there and we would pray and we would tell God, if this is not from you, remove it and then remain our friendship. We don't want to get into a covenant to play with you. Because, you know, when you involve God in a covenant, God is there. And that's the most important person. God is there. And we were afraid, what if we get in and then after 1 year, after 2 years, you guys are no more? We would pray. And I'm telling you, we would tell God the truth, holding hands. If she's not meant to be my wife, then remove her. And if I'm not meant for her, remove me. Let us be friends rather than looking for being lovers. And I think God gave us the conviction. You guys are meant for each other. And then we proceeded.
Wow.
Yes.
Prayer at the center of it. Make it a 3-strands affair, as they say. You, your guy or your woman, and God at the center of it, so that you can be sure even when the storms come, utamkumbusha God, hii kitu tulianza na wewe, si ati tulikuinvolve mahali katikati. Tulianza na wewe right from the foundation, and that is quite important.
Wow.
So pale mkaanza sasa kupanga harusi.
That's a whole everything in itself also, because of course there's a lot kupanga harusi and all that. There are those processes. COVID is here. Kwanza COVID. Actually, what happened? You know, I work in schools, Nini. I teach drama and music and all that.
School closed.
So you've worked, especially first term. It's a very good place for drama, because first term need drama festivals. So umepata contracts kama 2-3, and you're sure hii shule itanipatia this amount of money, hii shule itanipatia this amount of money. I'll have some, you know, in as much as even you're asking for help from people, you're sure at least hata ukiambia watu nataka kufanya wedo ya 500k, niko na 200. I mean,
Thank
You have something in your pocket, not just to call people and to burden them.
Kuna mahali tunaitwa mpaka rorashio bwana. Unajipata umewekwa kwa group asubuhi. Umejipata kwa group. Dowry collection group.
Okay, we personally did that. But if we were to
but you had something.
Yes, if we
Thank
were to retrace our steps, all those things. Ha ha ha. By the I wouldn't even, for lack of a better word, care. Ati mtasema ati tulikuja harusi ati kukula hata huku Twitter harusi, I wouldn't care.
Ungefanya Sunday.
Acha Sunday. Sunday ya nini? AG's office. So long as my person.
Sunday.
What is the issue? Where in the Bible was the wedding other than the Ilya?
But you see, you need to feed us. Wow. You know.
Then after that, let me tell you one thing. Like now, during our wedding, you know, and you know the burden falls on men.
Yes.
Because you are the provider.
Yes.
Initially or primarily.
Yes.
Now, tumeshafanya hivyo vyote, and then, of course, it was COVID times, but of course, pole nimeenda mbele. But then tunaenda home, everyone has left after that wedding, and then she's like, what are we going to eat? And that time it struck me. Anyway, forget about it.
No, it's a good lesson, by the way. I think for even people who are planning to get into marriage, and there's a lot of hype with people coming up with extreme budgets.
Which is wrong.
Very extreme. And when the committee cannot meet, unaomba loans kwa bank. Then once you borrow that loan, after honeymoon, uwezi enjoy. Because the reminders are coming in. Uko na deni.
I wouldn't dare.
Uko na deni.
I wouldn't dare.
Yes.
And thank God my wife is here. She's also saying she wouldn't dare.
Anyone who wants to plan for a wedding.
You want to plan for a wedding?
Yes.
It is your wedding.
Yes.
It is your wedding. Any other thing, forget about it. What is more important in that wedding is you and your wife.
Yes.
They say that photography and videography are important. Yes, they are the only things that are attached to us. Of course they are, but ask us now, when do you even get time to even watch that? Ours was only 1 hour, 30 minutes. So the video is not even 1 hour. You don't even have time to watch it. You don't even have time to watch it. The only things you have is, I mean, you guys do you.
Yes.
It's made easier for us. And Christians, especially as Christians, believers, we shouldn't be stressed by getting married. We should not be stressed in any way. Sijui nikuja ni feed watu 500 for what?
By the poolside.
If you have, go for it.
Which is okay.
But it's equally irrelevant. It's something, I mean, it's just a hype for nothing. So long as your spiritual authority knows, this is my honest take, which I believe is the truth. So long as your spiritual authority knows, it's for you guys, man, and you have walked a journey with this person, with your passé, he knows. Like in our church, kuna what we call MDP. You've gone through that for 3 months. Go get married at AG's office, and that's the end of it. You don't have to feed us.
At this point, if you are to do your wedding over again, what are some of the things you'd strike out?
Wow. One, I would invite no one. I'm telling you. I think I'll be me, my best couple. We go to the AG's office, exchange vows, go to my passé.
Now, Azazi?
Of course.
She was the one who wanted the horses, to be carried with the horses.
You don't have to say it
no, she has learned. They say experience is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. She has learned.
You know, we honor our parents.
Yes.
And we do honor them. And they know we honor them. We have informed them. Mom, I'm getting married to this guy. And this is the day of our wedding. And you're not invited. We will go to the AG's office. No, it's okay. Najua aliolewa. Na hii ni yangu. So we will go to the AG's office, tufanye harusi, tukisha sign certificate. We will go to a church or where we'll agree with our passé. Atupatie baraka zake, atuombe. After that, we will come after our honeymoon and I will show you my husband. And that's it.
Hey, we're evolving.
Because people are stressing themselves. You see why people are getting married, getting pregnant in church and hiding and running away? It's because they don't have money to do their weddings. But wait, why are we pressuring people to do their wedding? What is a wedding? That's where we start.
It is a 6 hours affair that is supposed to torment your finances. I'm defining what is a wedding.
Yes. And I'm telling you, you don't need it. You just need to be pure before God.
Yes.
A wedding is a worship by itself.
Yes.
Be pure before God. The two of you, we have agreed you're going to be pure before God. That's it. Get your certificate because the government needs it, not because God needs it.
Yes.
Then get the blessings of God because God starts with you. That is enough. You don't have to feed anyone. You don't have to show anyone you have a good dress for your wedding. No, you're okay.
As a matter of fact, you'll still feed us with over 100 and something for food, and still will still leave that place saying
complaining.
Tukukula hata hiyo food iko sijui nini.
Hatutakosa makosa ya kukosoa.
So
either MC alikuwa na shida,
hiyo dress ya bibi harusi,
hiyo dress haikuleta.
Maybe even the stress that comes with pangaing a wedding, and you see it was COVID times. Of course, whatever was cutting to, then ilikuwa imeshika hiyo time. COVID imeshika. We were only allowed 15 people. As a matter of fact, we didn't go for honeymoon anywhere. We went to our house because everywhere, even the boundaries were closed.
Yeah.
Of course, it acted to our advantage, but we still used money. Guys came, sat on hay. Hay imetengenezwa vizuri. Of course, we spent, but and you know, hay, and the guys took snacks.
Yeah, there was no food.
And they left.
There was no food, it was snacks.
And I'm saying, if I was to redo the wedding, even that hay, you wouldn't sit on it.
No.
I wouldn't. Well, why do I have to?
That's why I bring people like you, because experience has taught you something.
Yes.
Unajua, if someone has not gone through some of those hiccups,
yes.
Anafikiria, mnaongea theory. But you see, you've been there, you've seen it's not really necessary.
It's not necessary.
And do you know the interesting bit? I've hosted over 13 couples. And every time they ask that question, finances used on the wedding day, everyone laments. Finances we spent on our wedding day. The finances we spent on our wedding day. That's usually one of the things.
You want Deca from where?
That will cost you 150,000.
People can't sit on Shiavaris. It's like any seat.
Plastic seat.
Yeah, it's like these seats you sit on with I don't know what. I mean, okay, if you think you can afford,
that's fine.
But at the same time,
you can do something
I
else.
think there's not bits of that affording, because
there's a couple you know very well, the Mukomas.
Yes,
I had hosted them. And they did something amazing. They saved a lot of the committee money. When they came from honeymoon, the second day they went to look for Kamugoda with the balance.
Oh Lord, what are you talking about? That is amazing.
They went to look for a Kamugoda. Second day after landing from honeymoon.
Wow.
Juu walisema zimetoka mingi wakafinya ikabaki.
That's supposed to be Kamugoda. So. Like a business, you can start a business. I mean, there's a lot that's. So, back to the story of pangaing our wedding. COVID came, schools closed, no contract is paid, you have no shilling. So we had to, I mean, the little you had savings in Maisha, she's a hotelier in the hospitality industry. Hotels are closed. Where is money? And you have a wedding, you have all these things. So,
and you want to do it the right way.
You want to do it the right way. But God is good, gracious enough. We went through it in a small budget. Of course, we had friends joining in, and of course, it was really, really strenuous that time.
I know.
Am I going to send you 5,000 shillings and I need food for my... I mean, it was everything.
And I'm not even sure of tomorrow because COVID, people are always wondering what will happen tomorrow.
Yes. So it was really a strenuous time. We learned a lot. We learned how to talk to people. You have to, you go to your small committee and they're like, call this person. And you're like, how on earth am I going to call this person? Nitamwambia nini? Of course, the COVID times, it was really, really something else. But we did a wedding.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We thank God.
5 years down the road.
Yeah.
Now you never went for your honeymoon, which is still fine. It's
We
neither
are
here
okay.
nor there.
We are okay.
We have
went
2
at
babies
home.
here.
Yeah.
Your first experience with the baby. Pap, the baby is here. Eh,
You don't want to remind me that day.
what happened?
We came from the hospital. Apparently, how I got my baby, only God. I normally tell people, you walk in the hospital, everyone walks in the hospital, and you come out with your baby, but some don't.
Very true.
That's a miracle. When you can't go home holding your child, you got a reason to thank
Even the
God.
whole process of getting a baby.
It's
That
just
one is
God.
only God who knows.
You went in.
No. Where?
I would have been surprised if you went in.
He
I
was
didn't
just
even
running
go.
around.
Eh?
Apparently, I was not even there.
Thank you. You saved yourself a lot of trouble.
So,
Story
Story
after
for
the
another day.
cameras.
yes. So we came out of the day he was actually coming to see the baby because he was out of town. Is the day I was being discharged from the hospital. So we went back home. When we got home, you know how small babies just cry. They just cry for no reason.
Wanalia. Thank you.
And now you're like,
That somebody needs to tell us what happens.
And then he's too tiny. And oh my God.
You hold it.
Actually, my husband asked me after the baby is out, so how do we even handle this? And I'm like, what? Okay. So now we went home.
Of course, that's the first experience. This was everything. And then you even wonder, it's like this. How do you even hold this? I know, I thought I had held babies before, but it was a struggle even to hold this.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, it was a struggle until he would tell me, and I'm like, where's Sawa? So when we went back home, the baby now started crying at night. And then he's crying for no reason. Where my husband cried. And then he told me.
That was not me.
And then he told me, I want you tomorrow, you remove all these clothes from this room and buy sweaters. Because he felt like the baby is feeling cold. And I'm telling you, I called my best couple that night. And I'm telling her, the baby is crying. The baby is crying. I think he's feeling cold. I now need sweaters.
At one point, I actually think the baby Amelia and then Akamute.
And then he sleeps.
I don't know. Alilala must do nini. So we thought the baby has died.
Amezunguka. God, the baby is dead. Toto. Oh my God. Now, your CS wound, you don't keep running in that house, making noise. Now, I started crying and I was like, if my husband is crying, we need to cry. The baby is dead.
The baby is dead because my wife, with all the clothes she bought, she didn't buy a sweater.
No, there were sweaters, but they were not that too much. Okay.
Me, I'm like, you didn't buy a sweater? How on earth did you buy a sweater?
Tomorrow you buy all these sweaters. I was like, where?
Of course, you wake up in the middle of the night again.
These people left me at where the baby is dead. I am still wondering how.
Yeah, the baby, he cried and then he muted. We're like, gosh, he has died.
Because of cold.
Because of cold.
And you are the one who did not buy sweaters.
And my husband cried.
Okay, I'm back.
It was not that easy. I'm telling you. I thank God for people who came up because I'm telling you, I would call them anytime. Ako sawa, atamka, tulia. Wewe wacha alale kidogo atamka. Like, amelala sana. Hapana, atamka.
But they also sleep so much. Like he slept.
If your baby slept too much, you should be grateful to God.
Now, as we were not grateful.
At one time after Kulia now, he slept. They sleep like this. They sleeping. You do like this.
He's not breathing. He's not breathing. Wow, that boy.
That's good.
Oh my goodness. There's also a theory, especially with boys.
Yeah.
which is neither here nor there. They say if a boy sleeps for more than 5 hours, you're supposed to tap them because they might forget to breathe. That's what they used to say. I don't know whether it's still valid. Probably we might ask.
Thank God we didn't know that one because we'd have knocked him, not tapping, knocked him because, I mean, how would it have?
He would sleep.
Because the first time I heard that, I was like, so I should be waking my son after every 5 hours if he sleeps for more than 5 hours.
That way he does not forget to breathe.
So that he does not forget to breathe. I mean, there are many things we get advised out here.
Yeah.
Because sometimes also young mothers, young parents, you hear too much.
Yeah.
Fanya hivi, fanya hivi, fanya hivi,
Yeah,
fanya
from
hivi.
everywhere.
I think it's just for you to craft what works for
Your child.
you and your child.
Yeah.
I agree.
Eh? Because utapata mwingine kwa amevalishwa bosholi, amevalishwa nini, amefunikwa vikoi tatu.
And it's also different for the kids.
Yeah.
You see, like the first one and the second one, it's like
Two different things.
worlds apart. The reactions, everything is really, really unique.
So when the second one came, you're like,
I don't even have a struggle.
thank you.
That boy is fine. When he sleeps, I sleep.
Mhm.
The first one, I could not sleep. Even when he's sleeping, because I'm now wondering, is there a problem?
So let me ask, your firstborn, when it came to give him a bath, how was your first experience?
I called my friend. I was
It
wondering
was
how do
impossible.
people take, how do you put this human being here to take a
Tiny,
bath?
tiny is the word. Tiny,
Underline, you're being told
extremely
to underline
tiny,
the word
Okay.
tiny.
And I called my friend,
and delicate.
and my friend, I did not even take 2 minutes. Washed the
Kwanza
boy.
anashika hivi
Yeah.
anafanya unajua
Pole pole,
I
mkono.
actually had to run away that time because how do they turn these?
The head, I don't know
That's mishandling. You don't do
washed
that.
him, dressed him, and the baby slept.
marriage.
And I
And
was
what
still
happens?
asking him, uko sawa? Hajavunjika? Namwona amelala immediately. Hata hataki kunyonya. I think first time mothers should have a class.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I don't know. We called everyone. I'm telling you, we called everyone. Anyone who I knew could help, I would call.
Did you ever cry?
I used to cry all the time.
Thank you. Now you're normal. I can confirm.
Then my
As a
husband
normal
would cry.
mother,
So I
I'm
don't know who
normal.
was to help who. I think when we went for
I
the
was very
clinic,
strong.
doctor told us, so how many are you in that house? And we said, the way we are here. He looked at him and told him, you have to be strong. You're the only strong one in this team. So you have to be strong.
Strong for the two.
Yeah. And then we'd ask the doctor, kwani hasikii? Mtoto hasikii? Ako sawa, si unaona umeongea akatana, anasikia. Na kwani haoni? Okay. He looked at my husband like, you have to be strong. You're the only one who's strong in this team. Because we're wondering, kwani hasikii? Na kwani hatuoni?
You're basically saying those are the challenges of first-time parents.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that
And they're
kama kuna
intriguing
kale
and many.
unapitia, umetoka hosi, you don't know what to do.
Mungu ni mwema.
And the interesting bit is, by the way, even if you're taken through all the classes, they're called
You still
lamas
have
or
to
they're called
yeah.
whatever classes. The real thing, when the baby arrives, hata kama ulilea your smaller siblings, this one is a different experience.
Yeah.
Because this is your own blood.
Yeah.
So the experience
Wow.
is different. You're learning on the job.
Yeah.
But I assure you, third born, hata akilia utakuwa unamwambia maliza nakuja. It's usually what happens as you add like this. Unalia.
Nakuja.
Maliza.
Naja.
But with the firstborn, they do. You drop everything. Everything.
It's traumatizing
And
also. It's somewhat.
That is why marriage is for grown-ups and adults.
True.
Yeah.
So that now you
Because
can
even sleep, you like myself, I sleep.
Now in that space, when you're both of you trying to figure out,
Yes.
did you ever disagree on the model of what should be done to the baby?
We used to disagree all the time.
Thank you.
All the time.
You know, because most of the times at that initial stage, both of you are learning. Nobody knows what's supposed to be done. But can I tell you a secret? The mothers tend to think they know more than the husbands. And so it's usually a source of...
Guys, you had that? They know.
So
They know a lot.
mlikuanzana hapo. Usifanye hivi, mbona unafanya?
Kwanza kwa mavazi.
Eh.
Why should you mbalisha too many guys? Kuna vest, kuna tisho kama mbili. I mean, there's this thingy that goes this like this. What is it called?
TikTok.
That's TikTok thing.
Kana kuangana jina pia
We,
na stocking
kuna
na
rompa.
socks.
Kuna stocking.
Hey, this is too much.
Mkitoka ako aje?
We,
Kana shawl.
Ako ndani ya ndani ya ndani.
Kwanza hidden another bigger shawl. I was not one understanding. This baby is tiny. Why this kid? And you know, when you're carrying the baby, everyone thinks you have this humongous baby. But it's the whole thing that is wrapping this. So we actually went at loggerheads because of that, because I'm wondering, no, let the baby be. Even in Russia, they survive with the cold, and they are even actually kept outside too. I read somewhere they are kept outside too. In the cold.
Oh, in the
to
cold?
adapt.
To adapt to the cold?
Yes, of course they are wrapped, but not that much, but they are left some, I don't know whether it's true. Beginning the Second World War, they were kept outside, I don't know, in the ice. Kwa hizo nini zao, and then, I don't know. So I was not understanding why is my wife covering him so much, intensively covering. That was one major
What
issue we
he's simply
struggled with.
saying, kama mmekwarusana hapo miezi ya kwanza after mtoto amearrive, it is normal. It is normal. Just try and figure out what works for you, your spouse, and your baby. Because then we'll also keep advising you. Sisi watu wa nje. Kwanza, when you start winning the baby, anza na hapana. How was your experience?
Everyone was a doctor.
Yeah.
Everyone is a nutritionist.
Yes.
Mpatie hii, why my son? Constipation. Mpatie hii, sijui nini.
Hiyo ni banana.
Hiyo ni banana. Usikuwa unampatia banana. I think I learned my baby is fine. Let me just give him what works.
Figure out what works for him.
Do it your way.
Yeah.
Everyone will tell you what they want to tell you. But do it your way. I think it's my mother-in-law who told me, know what works for him.
Yes.
Stop hearing what everyone is telling you. Whatever works for him, he's fine.
Look at that camera, Mombi. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. I hope you at a watch. Thank you. Yeah.
She did you a lot of justice because ungeumwana kichwa bure.
Okay.
But it's a human nature. I think it's in our human nature somehow. We will always be giving advice, assuming that what worked for us
will work for another
should
work
for
even on weddings.
Everybody.
That's also what happens. What didn't work for my wedding, I want it to be in your wedding. Why? Yeah.
So figure out, because the marriage is between the two of you. Please try and figure out what works best for you. So 5 years and we have 2 babies, and we are grateful that you made adjustments in even how you're raising babies. Is a learning process, I believe. And
true.
the Lord has continued and will continue to keep your union going. So as we wind up, what would be your closing remarks to a lady out here, Tess? Anaangalia, asha proposiwa, arusi iko probably August hivi, ama amepewa April hivi, alafu anaangalia mambo. What would be your word of wisdom? You know, now you can advise somebody. Unaweza keti sasa umpatie a word of wisdom. Please go ahead.
I think what I'll tell you, it's beautiful when someone is in love with you and they want to take you down the aisle and make you the wife. But what I would also tell you, consider building yourself more as a wife rather than as a bride. Because you might find yourself, you're all over looking for the best dresses, nails, who will do the makeup. But at the end of the day, you'll become a wife for the longest time and you'll be a bride for 6 hours.
Thank you.
I think one, make your life simple. Just be aware. People will talk after your wedding. Make the easiest life ever. They will still talk after that wedding. So make your life simple. Accept as it is. Me, for this wedding, it's my wedding. So I'll do it my way with my guy. Because you're not everyone's choice, okay? But your prayer should not always be, God, kusinyesha hiyo siku. Mungu naomba hata dress ikienda kupigwa pasi isiharibike. No, let your prayer be, let me be the best wife to this guy because he has made me be the bride. So consider not so much for the wedding. not so much of the heels you'll put on, where you'll get the dresses, but consider how you'll be as a wife. Because immediately after you say, yes, I do, you become someone's wife.
When
and
you
that
drop off the
night,
gown.
yes, and that night you're somebody's wife. You're no longer the baby Arusi we have. So how, you know, people break up even after one day.
Yeah.
So you tell God, me, I want wisdom. The Bible says a wise woman. They talk about the wise woman. Go read about it. Be that wise woman. So usipressure mtu wako sijui nataka kwenda na gari gani. Me, I was that bad. Why? Thank God for COVID. I would even say the kind of cars I want to come for me. Wachana hizo vitu. Weddings are ordained by God and they belong to God. So be a good wife. That's the most important thing I would say. Yeah.
Kwa huyo jamaa anasikia kama
brother.
ama kwa hawa majamaa
Mabrathe mazee, wacheni pressure. Kama you are able to convince your wife to be, minimize on cost. Yeah, that wedding. Good for you guys, because that evening after that wedding, majukumu sasa yanakuanza. 2, unless you are very decided that is the lady you want to get married to, don't. Kama uko na ish, wachana nayo, wacha. Utaachana nayo the next day. Hapa ni penye tunasemaga katakunukia vibaya sana. If you are not decided, please don't. Ama if you're feeling ish, be very decided. I want this lady for myself. She's a lady I feel would be my wife, would be a mother to our children, would be someone I would listen to in terms of advice, get advice from. It's someone who, I don't know, all these factors, but if you are not sure of it, leave it. Then the other thing, as my wife has said, men, you also need to, brother, to kue priests who God is looking for in us. We have to give directions. Directions in very many aspects of life. So if you're also feeling you're not ready to do that, and to stand up for a man who God ordained you to be from the creation of time. Because at times, being that man is a hard nut to crack. But with the grace of God, it's possible. But if you feel you're not able to, you don't want to go that direction, to stand up as a man who God intended from the word go, please don't get married. Leave it until you're very decided. Because there's a lot expected from you by the society, by your wife and children, by everyone, by God. God akikuja kwa Garden of Eden aliuliza Adam, what happened? Hakwenda kwa Eve, alienda kwa Adam kwanza. Kwa hivyo atamuuliza where is your wife? I mean, and that is not basically physically, but spiritually, God is asking us as men, where is your wife? How is her heart? How is she faring on? How is she building on what I'm speaking to her? How is she tracking the speaking of God? It's a role to play as man. If you're not ready for that, please don't go for it.
Na tena hiyo offering basket, kuna watu hapo wanapaswa kutoa offering. Juu unaongea kama wasee watano.
Na namba.
Kuna kwanga na women's guild.
Kuna pay bill.
Kuna pay bill. We will project it. Kuna women's guild. Wanaume ni tangu aje?
PCMF.
Sasa umeongea kama wanaume watano
wa PCMF.
Na
wako na tie na badge.
Na uko only 5 years in marriage. Hey, Muhari.
The guy.
I am proud.
Be good.
I am proud of the product God is processing in the two of you.
Amen.
In a season when, as we began by saying, people are looking at marriage like it's old school.
Yeah.
It's not the thing that we should pursue with an very independent woman who is not willing to submit, and a man who does not know what he's supposed to do. I'm grateful
Thank
that
God.
the two of you can be the voice, the indicators, the models for the younger ones. That this thing
Amen.
works. But it works in the order of God,
Amen.
not in the
Amen.
order of
man.
men.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate.
Amen.
Well, I truly hope that you've learned a lot from this amazing couple. I told you they are great people. They are young people in the real Gen Z. Wachana na ile ingine ya kujiwekelea. Hata sisi tunajitanga Gen Z siku hizi, but you can tell who is a real Gen Z. And we are learning. So I like to end with a quote every time. And this is my quote for this day. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps handles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. God bless you. See you next time.